Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, as always, with Tom Orr. Tom, how's it going?
Tony, it is time to talk about our favorite, very favorite thing in the entire world, the Heisman Trophy. But before we talk about that, we need to talk about our actual very important thing, most important favorite thing in the entire world, which is BuckeyeInsiders.com, which is launching very, very soon. If you have not gone to the site already to enter your email address to get updates, you should do that. We have some news coming very, very soon in a matter of days. It may launch soon enough that like my town might like shoot off some fireworks or something to celebrate the launch of the site. We'll see. We'll see if it can happen there. But maybe the city of Columbus will do a big fireworks show in our honor. I don't know. We'll see if we can get it done in time for them to do something like that, because I hear they want to try and do something this weekend if they can. So we'll see. It may be next week. But the only way to know for sure is to go to BuckeyeInsiders.com right now, throw your email address in there, and we will keep you up to date on the site, the fireworks, and everything else.
I don't know if this is accurate. I hear some people are calling it Red, White, and Buckeye Insiders.
That's what I'm hearing. And is it the best show yet? I think at the end, all the TV anchors will agree that it is. So yes, I think for sure. And we're not going to make you sit outside in the 115-degree heat index to go to the site. So this just keeps getting better.
But if you want to, by all means, the glare is going to be rough, but however you want it, we will have it there for you. And so as we transition to this show, kind of a compadre to the previous show that we did in terms of what does Jeremiah Smith need to do to win Heisman. The question here is, what does Julian Sayin, Ohio State quarterback, need to do to win the Heisman? And as we used to say, the Heisman is a quarterback award. The Heisman voters have tried to push back against that. And I think Fernando Mendoza earned it last year. I have no problem with him. And I think he proved it. After he won it, he played his best ball and he proved it there. So in terms of what does Julian Sayin need to do, I go back to the stats that he had last year in his first 13 games. For me, would have been enough, but it was the loss to Indiana that decided the Heisman. That everybody went in that game saying this is likely whoever wins is going to win the Heisman. Now, if Ohio State had won that and Julian Sayin was did what he did, does Diego Pavia somehow come in and steal it because he finished third in the he was second last year in the award, and Jeremiah Love finished third and Julian Sayin finished fourth. But I think Julian Sayin did enough numbers wise to win the award last year, and it's not like his numbers were crazy. They were good. It was 3,610 yards passing. Now that also includes the Miami game. 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. This is very easily done. I think it's interesting that the more important thing, Tom, rather than the stats, is the wins.
Yeah, and it's such a narrative-based award that if you look at the Michigan game and they go up to Michigan and they beat Michigan in the snow and it's this huge win and they've gotten the monkey off their back and they've shown that they can do all the stuff that everyone thought they couldn't do. If you do that and then you follow it up by going into Indianapolis and going in front of a relatively hostile crowd and you beat Indiana, who has just killed everyone else all season, that probably, with especially the way the game played out, if you go down and you score late and you win and you're the guy who has the big late heroic touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
then it's such a narrative award that takes the votes away from Mendoza and it probably gives them to another guy in the Midwest, and that's either Jeremiah Love or Julian Sayin. So yeah, I think he probably did have a decent chance to win it last year. His numbers after the regular season were good enough. They were basically 3,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And Mendoza, I'm going to have to just do this as a very ballpark number, but he was probably about 3,000 yards passing and 33 touchdowns and 6 interceptions go after the Big Ten championship game. So relatively similar numbers. Mendoza threw 8 touchdowns in the playoff and Sayin threw 1. So that's where their numbers diverge a little bit. But going into that Heisman weekend, the numbers were close enough that whoever won that game, I think, is probably the one who wins the Heisman. You know, I don't think Diego Pavia was going to take a bunch of votes away from whoever that was standing on that stage with the confetti falling on him.
And in that game, Fernando Mendoza, 222 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Julian Sayin, 258 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. In a 3-point game that could have gone either way. Just shows you how close things are when it comes to the Heisman. And so it's not just, well, he needs to throw for 3,500 yards. There are some other mile markers that you have to hit, and you've got to get this key win and that key win. And he was 12-0 heading into that Indiana game, just as Fernando Mendoza was 12-0 heading into the Ohio State game. And so they cleared all of those parameters, and then it just came down to that one last one, and we talked it up. We previewed it, and I think we were both on board. Whoever wins, this is for the number 1 seed. This is for the Big Ten title, and this is for the Heisman. That's how we portrayed it, and I think that's true. Will it be that way again? Josh Hoover versus Julian Sayin, Indiana quarterback, Ohio State quarterback for the Heisman. I would be much less surprised if Julian Sayin wins it than Jeremiah Smith. I think much easier for Julian Sayin to win it, especially when you've got a receiver like Jeremiah Smith. But again, Smith is going to take votes away from Julian, just as Marvin Harrison took votes away from CJ Stroud, and guys took votes away from Justin Fields. Like, you've got Chase Young took votes away from Justin Fields. So there is that aspect of it where, the other candidates, who are they? And is anybody at Oregon taking votes away from Dante Moore?
Yeah, and I don't know that anyone. I mean, maybe DeCorian Moore. I guess let's see what year 2 looks like for him. But yeah, I think you have a decent chance of it being a Dante Moore, Julian Sayin Big Ten championship game this year. That's a real possibility. The thing that is, in addition to losing votes to a teammate, the other thing that I think could potentially hurt Sayin is how difficult this schedule is. It's hard enough that if they go 11-1, I think that's fine. I think that's going to be, I think that's going to be totally, if you lose one at some point to some combination of Texas, Indiana, Oregon, Michigan, USC. I mean, you've got Iowa. Like, you've got enough games that are difficult games that going 11-1, everyone's going to look and go, yeah, that's fine. You would have made a 4-team playoff with that schedule and that result. And that won't be a concern. As soon as you get into 10-2 or even 9-3, 10-2, you're certainly making the playoff with that schedule. 9-3, you very well might make the playoff with that schedule. But at that point, that just gives people a reason not to vote for you. And you're at that point, if you're having a good year and Jeremiah Smith's having a good year, the quarterback record, it's so stupid. But the record will get held against the quarterback more so than it will get held against the wide receiver. Because you don't ever see the stat of, well, this wide receiver's record as a starter. Like, you see that with quarterbacks. You don't see it with wide receivers. It's one of those really dumb things that I think there's enough of that generation of Heisman voters still around that will probably get held against you more as a quarterback than a wide receiver. But yeah, on the whole, I think you're more likely to see Julian Sayin win the Heisman this year than Jeremiah Smith.
And I'm just quickly looking. Do you know how many 300-yard games Fernando Mendoza had last year?
I have that open in another tab, so I could look extremely smart and tell you exactly which one it was. One game. Okay, so one game.
And I'm looking now to see,
it wasn't in the postseason. He didn't have big games in the postseason because they just killed everyone. Was it the Penn State game?
No, worse. No. Michigan State. And I'm just quickly looking and wondering who was the last Heisman quarterback to only throw for 300 yards once, because
Gino Torretta to prove me wrong.
Maybe it'll be Lamar Jackson as I quickly look here, but that just shows you, and against Ohio, with Ohio State's schedule, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns and no turnovers in a win over Oregon is as good as 350 yards in a win over Iowa. It carries the same kind of weight over the course of the season, because if now will Julian Sayin have some of the same kind of success running the ball? We will see. But even Fernando Mendoza, running the ball, he rushed like maybe his most memorable play was the touchdown run against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And also in that game, he finished with -8 yards rushing. So
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a Heisman moment, right? People talk about
yep.
having a Heisman moment. It's not. It's Troy Smith running around in circles
Mhm.
against Penn State in 2006 and launching a ball and making an incredible play out of nothing. And how many other points did the offense score in that game? Shut up, none of your business. Did they have 2 pick-sixes in that game and only score 28 points? They sure did. Gino Torretta, boy, what do I want to lead with here? Tony, let's start with give me Gino Torretta's career completion percentage
Oh,
in the National Football League.
oh, 0.
Higher than that, Tony.
All
Much
right, I'll
higher
say.
than that.
I was going to say he's never thrown a pass, but it was like 44%.
31.3%, 41 yards, a smooth 2.6 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Oh my
His senior
goodness.
year at Miami, when he won the Heisman, 56.7% completion percentage, 3,060 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 7.6 yards per attempt. So, and an average of 278 yards per game. So he probably did have more than one 300-yard game, I'm going to guess.
Here you go. I was just looking. Cam Newton actually had 2. I thought he was only going to have 1, but yeah, that's boy the Gino Torretta thing. At the time, I was just a kid. And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is just let's just give this was a total quarterback award, and it's like, well, got to go to somebody, and like they had already stenciled in a G or something on there. It's like, well, what are we
He
gonna
was
do?
the only quarterback among the top 5 vote getters that year. Marshall Faulk was second.
God,
265 rushes for 1,630 yards, 15 touchdowns. Garrison Hurst was third that year.
he was tough.
Marvin Jones, linebacker for Florida State, was fourth. Reggie Brooks, the Notre Dame running back, was fifth. Charlie Ward finished sixth, and then, of course, won the next year. Charlie Ward 2,647 yards passing, 22 touchdowns. Tony, how many interceptions did he have to go with those 22 touchdowns in the year that he finished sixth in the Heisman?
15.
17. Drew Bledsoe finishing eighth that year in the Heisman voting, 2,770 yards, 18 touchdowns. Tony, how many interceptions did Drew Bledsoe have to go with his 18 touchdowns in his eighth place Heisman finishing season?
15.
14.
Yeah,
So, yes. Yeah, boy. So when you say college football has changed a lot over the years, kind of that, yes.
yeah, it's how like kind of the opposite of how baseball is okay with strikeouts now. And used to you didn't want strikeouts. Now it's like strikeouts are fine. Back then, interceptions like what do you? There's nothing we can do about it. Throwing the ball is very very difficult. There's going to be interceptions. 50% completion percentage. What are you? You're crazy. We're just going to throw it up for grabs, and if the defensive back catches it, good on them. And that's how boy, even the pass heavy, that's of course they're going to throw more interceptions. But yes, as we've said before, go back and watch Ohio State in 2006 with the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and the passing game still was it was advanced for that time. It may not seem so advanced. Go to 2016 with Ohio State and JT Barrett and that offense, and you'll see some difficult times trying to throw the ball. Now everybody is spoiled, and not just Ohio State fans. The way the passing game has evolved, and yet you don't need the 5,200 yards that you used to need to, like BJ Simmons or, so one of these random Texas Tech quarterbacks throwing the ball, or David Klingler or Andre Ware, where it's like, well, they throw for 5,000 yards. We have to put them up there. Like when a running back would rush for 2,000 yards, it's like Troy Davis has to be a Heisman finalist. Like, why? He's averaging 4.9 yards a carry. They're running him to death. It's like, but those are the rules. And no, they're not. Anyway, Heisman Trophy. Great. We love you. Tom, anything else?
David Klingler, fifth in the Heisman. 5,140 yards passing, 54 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. And the year before, Andre Ware won it with 4,699 yards, 46 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
A different time. What a time to be alive. But we are here in the present. And if you are also with us here in the present, please hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening and want to watch us on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/@BuckeyeInsiders. And as Tom said, we are getting close, very, very close. Go to BuckeyeInsiders.com right now. Put your email address in. We'll give you an update. If you've already done it, thank you so much. Thank you for being patient with us. We do appreciate that. And we can't wait for you guys to see everything that we've got. So that will do it from here. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you all later.